I knew something was off the second we stepped inside. The music thumped low, conversation rolled in overlapping waves, and the chandelier's glitter seemed to spotlight everyone, except me. Claire slid her hand from mine almost immediately. No smile, no look back, just a quiet unhooking as she melted into the crowd like she'd been waiting all week to get away. I stood there suddenly a stranger beside my own wife. We'd been married 6 years. I knew her little habits, her laugh, that she hated cilantro but loved anything with heat. But that night the woman I watched belonged to everyone else. Claire leaned into her friends, murmured things that set them laughing. She rested a hand on a man's arm when he spoke. She tilted her head just enough to show interest, her smile wide enough to make my chest hurt. And I was wallpaper. I drifted to a corner, pretending to check my phone, while inside I was fighting the sting of being invisible, erased one polite smile at a time. A server offered a drink. I nodded and took it, but it tasted like nothing because all I could see was her. Claire threw her head back, laughing in a voice I hadn't heard with me in months. 10 minutes, 20, nearly an hour passed. Not once did she search for me. Not once did she notice me hovering at the edge of her perfect world. I couldn't take it any longer. I left my untouched drink on the table, pushed through the press of people, and slipped into the cool night air. The quiet outside felt like mercy. I walked to the car, sat behind the wheel, and let the engine stay cold. My hands gripped the wheel, so hard my knuckles went white. I wanted to drive away and never look back, but something, hope or denial, kept me rooted. Then my phone buzzed. One message lit the screen from Claire. Come. One word. For a moment my heart betrayed me. It jumped. Maybe she'd noticed. Maybe she wanted me. Maybe I'd overthought everything. But I knew her shortcuts. This wasn't for me. A cold knot tightened in my gut. Instead of replying, I shoved the phone into my pocket and walked back inside. The party still thrummed. No one noticed me slip back in, but Claire wasn't where I'd left her. She wasn't with her friends or by the drinks. I scanned the room, chest tightening, then saw movement down the hall, her dress trailing as she disappeared into a side room, phone still in hand. I followed quietly, careful, each step heavy like I was dragging my own heart behind me. The door at the hall's end was ajar by a sliver. I stopped, my pulse thundered. Through the gap I watched. Claire wasn't alone. A man, tall, broad-shouldered, the same one she'd been laughing with, stood too close. Her phone buzzed, and she smiled up at him, holding it out. "See, he'll come," she whispered, soft, almost amused. My stomach turned. I edged nearer, even though every word was a blade. "You sure?" the man murmured. "Of course," she said, slipping the phone into her purse. "He always does. That's the problem. He'll never leave me. Not until I make him." The room tilted, breath ragged and shallow. I should have burst in, screamed, demanded answers, torn the illusion apart right then. But I couldn't move. I stood frozen as my marriage unspooled before me. Her hand brushed his chest. He leaned in. I turned away before anything else seared itself into memory. Outside again, the cold hit like a slap. Hands shaking, I fumbled with my keys and somehow got behind the wheel. I don't remember the streets. The road blurred as tears stung my eyes. At home, silence felt like a coffin. I sat in the dark and heard her words loop. He'll never leave me. Not until I make him. So that was it. I wasn't a husband anymore. I was an obstacle to be moved, a man to be used and discarded when convenient. Hours crawled. At 2 a.m. the door clicked open. Claire stepped in, heels dangling from her hand. She froze when she saw me. "James," she said, startled. "You left." I stared at her, the quiet, thick, and suffocating. She shifted. Her confidence crumbled under my gaze. "Why didn't you answer my text?" she demanded. I let out a bitter laugh. "Your text." I said, "That wasn't meant for me." Color drained from her face. "Don't," I whispered. "Don't lie. I heard you. I heard everything." Her lips parted, excuses trembling on them. But nothing came. Only heavy silence, worse than any confession. Finally, she sank into the chair across from me, eyes glossy. "James, it's not what you think," she said. I slammed my hand on the table. The sound was sharp and absolute. Don't insult me with that. 6 years, Claire. 6 years of my life of love, of trust, and you throw it away like I'm nothing. Her tears slipped free then, but mine had already dried, replaced by something colder. "Do you know what hurts the most?" I said, voice low and steady. "It's not that you cheated. It's not even that you lied. It's that you thought I'd never leave, that you could do this and I'd just stay." Her sobs split the air. I pushed my chair back and stood. She reached for me, desperate, but I stepped away. For once I wasn't the one chasing. That night I packed a bag. Not everything, just enough. Clothes, essentials, the things that mattered. As I zipped it shut, she whispered from the doorway, voice cracking, "James, please don't go." I paused with my back to her, then turned and met her eyes one last time. "No, Claire," I said, "this time you don't get to tell me when to come." And I walked out. The door clicked shut behind me with a finality I felt in my bones. For the first time in months, maybe years, I wasn't invisible. I wasn't just wallpaper. I was free.